Back to the sewers. I love this song. Yes, I do. I am so hyped, guys, for Shellonomics today. This is the end of an era. Not only for the 2003 series, but for one of our good friends, Peter Laird. This is, I believe it was his final project he was a part of when he was signing off. Christian's going to share a little more details than that, but I hope you're doing great, man. I hope you're as hyped as I am to cover the final episodes of the 2003 series and Turtles Forever, and say goodbye to our friend Peter Laird as he signs off and sells the rights of the Turtles.
Yeah, absolutely. This is really, yeah, as you say, it's the end of an era. It's a big one. It's a big one, and it's a great goodbye. I mean, just Turtles Forever. This is really something special. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you ain't lying. So I was telling Christian earlier today, guys, I played this theme song about 5 times. Now, I don't know if this song would have caught me in the beginning, and this had to grow on me. I think they did it right. I think the 2003 song is good. But for me, people are going to call me nuts. For those who are fans of the Fred Wolf saga, I like this theme song the best. I'm sorry, I do. It's captivating. I'm more of like a metal hard rock kind of guy. It's captivating. Tells you what's going on in the show. Animation's kind of different. You know, animation's all right, but the theme song is just, it's like Pokemon. I like We All Live in a Pokemon World more than the original Pokemon song. So I like to be a little different. So I don't know your thoughts on the theme song, but how did you like the animation for this season?
Yeah, first off, the theme song is cool, no doubt about it. I'm not sure if I would say it's the best of the best, but I see where you're coming from. It's cool. With the animation style, it's like, this season started in 2008, and in 2007 the TMNT movie came out. So it seems like they tried to replicate their style a little bit, because the Turtles, they now have pupils under their masks. And like Casey and especially April look a bit different, look a little more like the 2007 characters, even though there's no connection there. It's not the same universe or anything, but it feels like they try to, like it feels to make it feel connected. To try to, but it's still it's cool. It's good. It's like it feels like a mix between the classic 2003 style and the fast forward style. So like a little mix between them, and yeah, that's where we are now, and it's cool. It's yeah, as you say, it's a good goodbye for the show.
Yeah, it's a fun one. It's just maybe a little bit more closure to a degree. A couple, a little different, not as heavily aggressive as the earlier ones were. I think they were trying to find some middle ground here, but I enjoyed these. I remember watching a couple of these as a kid, and as we said, we get hyped into Turtles Forever as well, because it's a little bit on the shorter side, only 14 episodes, but it served its purpose. I had fun, and let's get right into it here with Tempest Fugit.
Yeah, this is the first episode of Back to the Sewer, and this we did Turtles they're still in the future, and then they are able to finally repair the time window with Cody, so the Turtles can get zapped back to their time. And as I said last episode, this was not planned that way. There was supposed to be a second season of Fast Forwards to finish some storylines, but okay, at least they acknowledge it. At least they're not like, whoop, we're back. No, they still have, okay, there's a connection there. So now the Turtles get set back to their time, to the present time. But then during all this, suddenly Viral reappears. She was supposed to be destroyed, but she somehow survived, and she came back and caused chaos, which led to the Turtles flying through time with Serling, who also somehow was sucked into the portal and came with the Turtles, and they flew through time. They landed in different times, like if I remember correctly, they were in the dinosaur times. Then they came to the Middle Ages, and then, which was the most interesting one, they suddenly landed in a fight between 3 shredders. There's like this war, like some place in the near future, a possible future, where there's the Utrum shredder, Tengu shredder, and a mysterious shredder that we don't know yet. And they're fighting. There's like this shredder war, and the Turtles don't know what's going on. But in the end, the turtles, they are able to get back to their time. But because of the interference with Viral and everything, Splinter gets lost in cyberspace. He gets like how should I put it, blown apart. Like all his bits, like digital bits that were flying through time and space, get thrown into cyberspace and are lost. And now the turtles are back in their time, but Splinter is lost. What will they do next? Well, we're gonna find out.
Yeah. And finally, they get a little reunion after about a year apart from Casey and April in the next episode here, Karate Schooled.
Yeah, as you said, in this episode, April and Casey find out, hey, the turtles are back, and that they've been gone for a year. And yeah, and Donatello tries to find a way to get Splinter back. Meanwhile, Casey says that he joined a karate school and he's got a new teacher, a cool guy named Master Khan. And well, it turns out that he is actually part of the Foot Clan, and he's hypnotizing his students to do stuff for him, including Casey. So the turtles interfere, and well, they have their first fight. And something that I forgot to mention in the first episode, at the end of the first episode, Viral entered cyberspace and found like a data vault of the Foot Clan and tried to get information out of it, and was taken over by a cyber copy of the Shredder, like a memory copy of the Shredder. And so she became Cyber Shredder. A new version of the Shredder lives in cyberspace. And well, this Cyber Shredder now contacts Khan, and because he wants to come to the real world and he needs all the help he can get. So that's where we left off now. Foot Clan is still causing trouble, and there's a new Shredder in town.
Pretty crazy, man. How do you like? What was your original take on Cyber Shredder?
It's a cool new idea. I mean, the 2003 show had a lot of Shredders.
Yeah.
It's an interesting idea that there's like this data vault with all these memories of the Utrom Shredder. And because of the interference with Viral, they fuse and become like the Cyber Shredder. I think the design is pretty cool. Like this idea is fresh, that it's this Shredder who lives in cyberspace. And it's yeah, the whole story is pretty. It always felt like Tron-like to me, you know, the movie.
Yeah.
And
Good call.
but it's something fresh and something new. And one little thing is that this was the Shredder that the Turtles saw in the first episode when with the war with the other Shredders. And I heard that if there would have been an 8th season of the show, it would have been about this Shredder war, like a big fight between all these Shredders. And I guess that would have been pretty interesting. But well, for now, it's like this alternative future, alternative timeline, whatever. And yeah, but yeah, Cyber Shredder is pretty cool. And I'm surprised, I think about it. No, we never got an action figure of him. So there's a missed opportunity there.
Yeah. Hello, NECA. If you're still listening to our other episode of What We Want, let's bring out a Cyber Shredder as well. Let's get some more fresh meat.
Yeah.
All right. So heading into episode number 3, Something Wicked.
Yeah, that's the part where it gets really wild because, as I said, Splinter's pits are lost in cyberspace. So Donatello found a way to digitize themselves to go into cyberspace once again, like Tron, and they run around cyberspace looking for the Splinter pits to get all of them together to get Splinter back. And that's where they have the first confrontation with Cyber Shredder, who is, as I said, in cyberspace. And the Turtles fight him, and well, it's his domain. He's the big bad. They fight him. They are able to escape for now, but yeah, Cyber Shredder. They now know about Cyber Shredder, and he's definitely gonna cause trouble in the future.
Yeah, I agree. And again, we got about 14 episodes here, so quick but still enjoyable. Especially this episode here. Finally Casey's gonna pop the question here with Casey and April in the engagement ring.
Yeah, there's a thing here. We get a little bit of closure with April and Casey's story there. When Casey is looking for an engagement ring to finally ask April if she would marry him, and he gets his hands on a weird ring, and well, April says yes, everything's fine. She gets the ring, but unfortunately, it's a mysterious mystic ring that's able to call forth some creatures, like some monsters, and turn April into like this demonic version of herself. So there's the big thing. They have to fight April and her monsters, causing chaos in the city to get the ring off her and turn her back to normal, which they do. And in the end, April gets a real ring, a non-cursed ring, and she still wants to marry Casey. So good one on that.
Yeah, exactly. I thought I was getting a nice little twist. I think I've seen other shows do that too, like a ring power, where you put the ring on and something crazy happens. So I like that one. I didn't mind it. And coming up next, another friend who just does not go away in Hacking Stockman. He still finds a way to make appearances, and I love it.
Yeah, here we meet Stockman again, who is in cahoots with the Purple Dragons, who are still causing trouble too. And we're talking now about present time Baxter, because in the future he became good. He was cool now, but we're back in the present, so he's the good old or bad old Baxter. But he's got a new body. He's built himself a new robotic body. And well, Cyber Shredder thinks that that's a cool body, so he is able to take over Baxter's robotic body, the cyber body, and become like Shred Stockman, which honestly didn't look bad. I gotta say, it's like this fusion between Baxter and Shredder. It's got style, and yeah, so more or less Baxter and the Turtles, they're working together to kick Shredder out and get him back into cyberspace, which they finally do in the end. So yeah, we now know Baxter is still there, still causing trouble, but for now, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, I didn't mind it at all. Again, I think me and you both enjoy the Baxter Stockman character a lot in this series, so I think they did a real good job with him. It's always nice seeing Baxter around in this one. He's not as I just like how he stands up for himself. He's not as much as a wuss, unless Shredder's about to slit your throat, but he usually stands up for himself for the long term. This one is some new blood here. I always like when they show like the little kid turtles. I wish these guys would have had figures. I'm glad NECA made the mini turtles from the 1987 series, but I always thought these baby turtles were kind of cool. And we go into episode 6 with the incredible shrinking Serling.
Yeah, and this, as I said, Serling came with the turtles to the present time, but he wants to go back to the future, to Cody. And for this, he built himself a time window, but it did not work the way he wanted it to work. First off, it changed him. It changed Serling into like a little robot. It changed his mass, and he became like this little toy robot. And he was sent through time, but back to the past. And there he meets the turtles when they were still little kids. And they're like, "Oh, cool, a robot toy." And then they have this little adventure with this toy collector. He wants to get his hand on this Serling toy. So, and he gets, there's a confrontation with the little turtles. So in the end, Serling and the little turtles, they work together. And well, Serling is able to get zapped back to the present time. So yeah, there we have this little adventure, and it's cool. It's fun little Turtle Tot story. Yeah, one thing I like about this season is that the overall story, there's always a connection there with the overall story with Cyber Shredder, and so it feels a little bit like season 5 with the Ninja Tribunal. Like this whole thing is connected. I mean, we have some side stories here and there, but overall, it feels like one big storyline. And yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Well, same here. I enjoyed this series. Like we said, the whole series from start to finish, but just every season is special in its own unique way too. It's like a rainbow. Every color's valuable. So I really enjoy this one as well. Heading into season 7, episode 7, we have Identity Crisis.
Yeah, in this episode, Cyber Shredder is able to put a virus into the turtles. So when they come back to the real world from a cyberspace adventure, they turn evil, become members of the Foot Clan, Dark Turtles. You know, like Dark Leo from the IDW comics, but now all 4 of them are members of the Foot Clan, and they're working for the Foot Clan, causing trouble, and so the others, April, Casey, they have to find a way to get the turtles back, which in the end they do. They become good again. But the overall thing, I think, is really cool. Like Dark Turtles is such an interesting concept, like a what if story, which I think is pretty cool. I like the turtles. The turtles in Foot Clan, these outfits. It had some. I had some. Once again, this would be interesting for action figure like Dark Turtles, Foot Clan Turtles. I would like it.
Yeah, it's almost like the Marvel What If series that they have on Disney Plus now with some of the Marvel. Like, what if this happened? What if that happened? A great fresh take. You know, yeah, I'm with you. They really didn't do any wrong. I don't even think I have much of a pushback with anything they did from this show from start to finish. Even this one here with Web Wranglers, our next episode.
Yeah, this episode, as Cyber Shredder still tries to go to the real world, and they're building the cyber portal, like the one the turtles use to go to cyberspace, but it does not really work the way it should be, and so that they're doing some experiments with some animals and sending them to cyberspace and back, these animals, they turn into evil creature monster, like they cyber mutate. I don't know what you want to call it, so once again causing trouble for the turtles. In the end, the turtles are able to defeat or destroy the portal for now, so that's a bump in the road for Cyber Shredder. But yeah, it's as I said, this is all connected. Cyber Shredder, there's the bits for Splinter, the Cyber Shredder trying to go to the real world. It's all connected, but just another episode, just another fine episode.
Yeah, and speaking of fun, we talked about this a little bit in our earlier episode on YouTube with Shellonomics. Super Quest, being a gamer at heart, this one, I really want everybody to stop what they're doing this weekend and take about a good 30 minutes and watch this. I think you can find these on YouTube if you don't own the series. This one is just so much fun from start to finish for anybody who is a gamer. They did a real good job with this one. What are your thoughts on Super Quest?
I couldn't agree more. In my opinion, this episode is one of the funniest episodes of the whole series. And yeah, all these callbacks to games like World of Warcraft, and so like the turtles, they find out that some of Splinter's pits are in a video game called Super Quest, which is like this MMORPG like World of Warcraft. And they have to play the game, and the turtles, they get all this, like Donatello turns into a wizard, and Leonardo becomes a knight, and so on and so forth. And just things like Raphael getting zapped and turned into a frog. This is such a funny episode. Like they're really making fun of this video games like World of Warcraft and so on and so forth. It's such a funny episode. And I mean, it even has a big twist. Like there's this character called the was it the Elfinator? I think that's helping the turtles. And in the end, the viewers, we find out that behind this character is actually Han. Han is playing this video game, and it's such a funny scene when all of the Purple Dragons finds out about it, and Han is like, "Yeah, I'm a gamer at heart. Got a problem with that?" And it's great. you really, this is an episode you can just watch for itself. You don't have to know any story about it. Watch this episode and have a blast with it. It's great. It's a great episode.
Oh man, I keep laughing anytime even just thinking of it now with Ribbit with Raphael just he is just not happy as a frog, and and the Hun surprise at the end. I was like, what of all people, it's Hun? I was just it almost felt like an anime episode right there in regards to like how that story worked with all the plot twists and the turns and TMNTDERTALK and Shellonomics both really want you guys. If there's one episode we have to pick where it's just a good, fun, lighthearted one to watch with your friends, your family, check this one out when you can. It's fantastic. We agree all the way. All right, we are getting down to the nitty gritty here, and coming up next is virtual reality check.
Yeah, in this episode, the Turtles once again come back from cyberspace from a little adventure to get some splinter bits, and but when they get back, after a while, they find out that some things are weird. Like the word is like glitching, and stuff like this, and well, it turns out that it was a trap, that the Turtles never left cyberspace. It was just a trick of by Cyber Shredder, so that he can find out more about the cyber portal of the Turtles to build his own. It's but well, in the end, the Turtles find out what it really is and get back to the real world. But overall, this episode really reminds me of in the fourth season, the episode Bad Day, when the Turtles were having this vision where everything went wrong, and in the end it turns out that it was like a vision caused by the Foot Mystics. So now we have not a vision, but they are caught in cyberspace, like caught in a virtual reality simulation. So it was kind of like this, with all the characters starting to act weird and so on and so forth. But still, cool little twist there. Like at first, you don't know what's going on. It's just some stuff is weird, but after a while, you find out, okay, that's what's happening. So nice little twisty story there, I gotta say.
Yeah, again, all this little just cool little stuff, and now next is City Under Siege, which actually came out on my birthday, November 29th.
Oh, cool. Well, in this episode, Cyber Shredder is like taking over the power grid of the city, causing chaos with all the machines and so on and so forth to get energy to finally start up his cyber portal and finally get to the real world. But well, that's the main thing of the story, like Shredder like taking over all the electronics in the city and causing chaos in the city, and the Turtles have to find a way to stop it. And well, in the end, the Turtles fight him off, and apparently even defeat him. For now, maybe we will see more of him, but for now he's gone for 2 episodes.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it always is. He just always keeps coming back. Keeps on coming back. He's a boomerang. So next is Super Power Struggle.
This is actually a special episode because the only Turtles who appear in this episode are Raphael and Michelangelo. So yeah, the 2003 show, there is all 4 Turtles don't appear in every episode, because if you remember, in season 4 there was an episode where only Leonardo appeared. So we don't have an episode with like Leonardo is missing in this episode, so he also doesn't appear in every episode, if you get what I mean. Anyway, the story about this whole thing is that Michelangelo, aka the Turtle Titan, well, there's the Justice Force and everything, and there is like this what's it called, the green like this green mantle, this green glowing mantle, and Mikey is fooling around with it and puts it on Raphael, which turns him into a superhero. Yeah, very Green Lantern style. And who appears to get his hands on this green mantle with the powers? It's Dr. Malignus, the character we haven't seen since season 1, like the old enemy of Silver Sentry. And he wants to get his hands on this powerful mantle So there's a big fight. Mikey gets jealous of Raphael because he really gets superpowers and hangs with the superheroes. And well, in the end, the real Green Mantle appears and gets his, well, Green Mantle back. And, well, Dr. Malignus is defeated, and Green Mantle is once again a superhero and rejoins the Justice Force. So superheroes are back, and yeah, that's the thing I gotta say.
Yeah, it was nice to get a little bit of closure with those guys. I think it would have been cool to have a little bit more of them in one of the video games. Wouldn't you agree? I don't know if like you could have been a playable character, but to have like a big fight with the Justice Force somewhere, I thought that would have been cool in one of the video games back in the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I like them. I like the guys.
Yeah, same here. All right, guys, we're down to our last 2 episodes of the 2003 saga, Wedding Bells and Bites.
Yeah, this is like, well, it's pretty much Wedding Bells and Bites is pretty much the actual end of this. You're right. You're right. There's still one more episode, but this is like the season finale in itself, and it's a serious finale actually. And in my opinion, it really delivers what a season finale and a series finale should deliver. April and Casey, they're getting married on the farm in Northampton, and they invited everyone to the party. We get all these characters back, you know, like the Justice Force, the Utroms, Usagi, the Ninja Tribunal. All of these characters come to the wedding and hang with them, and Fugitoid is there. Everyone, you get all this callbacks, but also Cyber Shredder reappears with the Foot Clan and Khan, and yeah, they are trying to crash this party. So there's this big fight, this big brawl. In the end, the Turtles are able to really destroy Cyber Shredder. They like blast him with this energy blast, which destroys his, well, cyber bits. Oh yeah, and Splinter is able to be saved. All his cyber bits get back together, so Splinter is able to rematerialize in the real world. He's also back. So in the end, Foot Clan is defeated, Cyber Shredder is defeated, April and Casey get married, and we even get some little cameos, like Renette is watching it, Bishop is even there watching it, the Red King like peeks around, and yeah, Cody through a time window is watching them. So all these little nice callbacks. This is really what a series finale should feel like. Like all these callbacks, like all these goodbyes to all these characters we learn to love, and it's great in it. It's really a great closure to the series overall, and yeah, it's fantastic.
Yep, nope, I agree. And then we still have, like you say, one last one. So this is it. And then we get to go into Turtles Forever. So the last one, I believe, is called Mayhem from Mutant Island.
Exactly.
All right.
And this was a special one. This was like a special episode, if we want to call it that, that came out in like this mini episodes. There were like all these mini episodes, like only 2 minutes long, that were like thrown in there, and which were overall a bigger story. Like there's these monsters and these dinosaur creatures that appear, and the turtles have to fight them until they find out that Baxter Stockman is actually behind them, is controlling them through this radio tower on like this island. So the turtles go there, fight the like these dinosaur creatures with the mech wrecker suits, like these mecha suits. And well, in the end, turtles, they destroy this radio tower. Baxter Stockman cannot control these creatures anymore, so they can live on the island in peace. And yeah, just a nice little special episode, a nice little adventure for the turtles.
Yeah, no, I agree. So we've said our goodbyes. This is gonna be it now, guys. So do you have any, I guess before we start into Turtles Forever, do you have any like research how this special came to be? Because for me, all I vaguely remember when I first heard about this was it was supposed to actually be released in theaters, like a special, you know, like how they do these in America for some special animes. Let's, for example, Jujutsu Kaisen is a pretty popular anime right now in 2025, and they're having a special being released in theaters for 2 days. So Turtles Forever out here in the States was actually supposed to be out in theaters for 2 days. and I saw the trailer and I saw the poster and I was like, oh my God, this looks incredible. So how did this come together?
As far as I know, it was like it was the final hooray for these turtles that they were able to do because later this year, it was 2009, Peter Laird sold the rights to Viacom Nickelodeon. So we are really lucky that we got this one. They worked on it, like 4 kids and everyone worked on it. And I think the premiere was was it at San Diego Comic Con back then? It was at least some con, and yeah, they tried to get it into theaters even, which unfortunately didn't work out. Then they showed it on TV, and then they released it on DVD. And what can I say? Turtles Forever. It's we are really lucky that we got this, and don't want to say too much right now, but it's still fantastic.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, it's the ultimate crossover, pretty much, right? I mean, I was a little shocked that we didn't get the original voice actors for the old Turtles. I don't know if it's because maybe they thought they were getting kind of dumbed down when you watch it. They weren't as special. And what I mean is, like, it was Peter Laird pretty much saying, hey, these are the way I vision those 87 Turtles. So, but you think about it, they were in video games. They've been in the Nick crossover afterwards. They've been in Shredder's Revenge. So I think that's like the only thing that kind of stunk, that the American voice actors weren't there. Were the Austria ones there, or the foreign actors? Did they come back in their parts? I'm curious.
We never got this in German.
Okay.
This Turtles Forever never got released in German, unfortunately.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So what were your thoughts? Take us through this when you see our original Turtles. They have the theme song, kind of. I mean, like, did you like them? Did you not like them? What are your overall thoughts on the 87 Turtles here in this, I guess, universe?
Yeah, I mean, this is like the big multiversal crossover. This is like I don't know, Avengers Endgame before Avengers Endgame.
Right.
This is the big crossover. I mean, nowadays, like the 2012 Turtles met 87 Turtles, and we get some crossovers here and there, and that's cool. But this was the first one. This was the big one. Like the 87 Turtles came to the 2003 universe, met them, and the 87 Turtles, they were a little goofier. They were goofier. I mean, the 87 Turtles were goofy back in the 87 show, but they even made a little more goofy. I mean, it had some funny parts where they made it a little bit like satire, like the turtles like running around the city, like, hey, we always do this, let's go for pizza. And the 2003 turtles like, you cannot do this, and stuff like this, all these callbacks. I mean, we get like cameos by other characters, cameos like by Irma is like walking by, and stuff like this. And it's really something. It's really still, as I said, they are a little bit more goofy. They're more goofy than they were in the classic cartoon, but still it feels like a love letter. As we said, Peter Laird wasn't the biggest fan of the 87 cartoon, but he was still behind this project. And you really feel that people were put their thoughts into this story. And it's back then it blew my mind. It was something that I never expected to see, and here we are. It's so cool. Like the Utrom Shredder coming back for one last hooray, meeting like the 87 Shredder and 87 Krang, like they're so different. Like, he's serious, he's evil, and well, 87 Shredder was not that serious. So it's great to this day. It's still a fantastic movie.
Yeah, I would say it's almost a classic. I mean, we know it's not going to be as good as a 1990 movie, but you actually bring up a great point there, Christian. Is we live in a world now where everything's a multiverse. Marvel's got the multiverse, the Spider Verse. DC has all these teams. It's like this was way before all that stuff. At least in the media of television came to be. In the comics, it was always there, but really not so much in television. And just a couple thoughts I want to share about it. The only thing I never liked, and I've said this before in either my podcast with you or somewhere, is Michelangelo could not lift a manhole cover. That was the only thing that got me mad. I was like, come on, of all things, he can't lift up a manhole cover? Ugh. But everything else, I just had to get that off my chest. I'm okay. I can breathe, relax. That was the only thing, friend, where I was like, God dang it. But everything else was great. I love how Leonardo just goes hi to the regular people when they're walking in the streets, because that's kind of what they did. They didn't hide as much as they used to. In the first 5 episodes, they did. But as we progressed in that show, they were just out there with everybody. I did like how Peter Laird still paid respect to Splinter in that show. He didn't.
Yeah.
Splinter was still very serious. Raphael's got one of the best quotes in that show. God, it's like having 5 Mikeys, because they were all just so goofy. And even the 2003 Michelangelo was like, guys, enough. I also enjoy how they rip on the turtle blimp when Mikey's up there and they're riding the blimp. This is the lamest vehicle of all vehicles. There's so many good Easter eggs in there. How did you like when Raphael talks and Hun yells at him, "Who are you talking to?"
Oh, this is the greatest show. Raphael breaks the fourth wall and everybody is staring at. There's nobody here. Who are you talking to? It's so great. We get this mix up between his words. Like in his world, this is completely normal, but in the 2003 world, they're like, what's going on? And yeah, just all these callbacks. Like in the scene when Shredder tries to find Turtle Prime, the original world, and we see all this comic covers, all these different worlds. Popping up, all these different dimensions with all the different turtles, like all these callbacks. And so this is really, really for the fans. It's so great. And just like in the end, when they go to the black and white original Mirage world, holy shell, this is so cool. This was so cool. Like like Leonardo during the fight, he's monologuing to himself, like, what's he doing? Is he crazy? It's really it's so cool. I'm a big fan of this whole multiversal thing with the turtles. Like it's all connected. Like even later in the 2012 show, we get like this callbacks to this multiverse, and it's really it's so cool. It's like really such a big thing. Like a movie based on a show should be. It's like really this is the big one. So we really get in there. Shredder wants to destroy not just the turtles, not just the world. He wants to destroy all the universes. And this is really, you can't go bigger than that. And yeah, it's so cool. It's yeah, what can I say? I'm a big fan of this whole thing. It's we can really be thankful. This is really from fans for fans, and it's just cool.
We get a little Toka and Razor Easter egg. We get the Lotus Blossom, the nose, that, and they use that to sniff out the turtles. I don't think anybody had an issue with Bebop and Rocksteady being the heroes, so to speak, where they kind of kill the ultimate shredder when they plugged the thing back in. I thought that was great. Trying to think of anything else just to plug. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there too. I had chills. It touched my soul when I see turtles everywhere, and you just see the movie, the comic, the anime, just anything that was turtles was in that quick little vignette. It was fantastic. And how wholesome was the ending? We get Peter Laird and you hear Kevin Eastman at the end. How touching was that for you, just for the finale? Because that was it.
Yeah, that was you can't go better than that. We get we don't see them, but we see like the original comic book, and then we get like a callback to the origin of the turtles. We hear Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman like, "Hey, do you think this is gonna sell?" Well, we're gonna find out. Let's go for pizza, and it is such a nice thing. Like book closes here. As I said, this was really the end of this era of the original era, of the Mirage era, because after that, Peter Laird sold the rights to Nickelodeon Viacom. And yeah, it was the last big thing he worked on. He did a little bit in comics, but not that much after that. So this is really the big one, and yeah, you can't go better than that. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, it was a great way to end. And for us Turtle fans, this is what we thought was it. We didn't know what the future held with Nick. We didn't know if they, I mean, at least I didn't think they were going to put a show on right away. I believe it took a couple years until it got released. So this was the end of Turtles for a while for us fans here. So
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It's been great to relive these, talking with you, doing all these breakdowns with each episode. Just, again, just reiterates how much me and Christian love this franchise and this series as a whole. Again, we'll hopefully deep dive into, maybe one day we'll get into Rise, the 2012. We'll have fun with those, but this is the one that me and Christian will always tell you guys, just for some reason, just doesn't get enough love as it deserves. It's not as mainstream, and it deserves to be, because this lasted just as long. It didn't last 10 years like the original cartoon, but it lasted a long time. Had great other media with video games, the Turtles Forever, great action figures. I mean, any final thoughts on this 2003 series as a whole, my friend?
Yeah, what can I say that hasn't been said before? It's completely right. It gets overlooked too much. It really deserves more attention. As you said, it ran for 7 seasons, 155 episodes, and a movie. And I mean, a short-lived comic series, action figures, video games. There was so much back then. These were the big turtles back then, and these were like a big change in turtle history, because before that, in the TV medium, we always had like the original cartoon, and we had Next Mutation, and there was not much of story arcs, character development, like high stakes, and characters really getting destroyed, and or really getting hurt, and so on and so forth, like taking itself serious in a way that the 2003 cartoon still amazes me to this day. I mean, as we talked about, we had episodes that were like really dark and gritty, like they get really into this comic origin with the stories, and like callbacks to the original comic books. And this is really, the 2003 cartoon is really something special. It was, as I said, a turning point for the Turtles, like 2012 series, and everything after that. They had storylines, they had character development, they had higher stakes. But here it started. And for this show needs to be remembered, needs to be watched. If you have not watched it yet, sit down and do it. It really deserves to be checked out. It's really something special. In my heart and in my opinion, it's just, even if you take out the turtles, if you take out me as a turtle fan, it's still a great TV show. It's still a cool show, and it deserves recognition. And yeah. I will support it until the end.
Same here. I got a couple pros. None of the voice actors left. I believe everybody was there for every episode. In the '87 series, we had to have a couple changes. Jim Cummings didn't voice Leatherhead. Rob Paulson wasn't there for season 10 of the Ninja Turtles. Obviously, James Avery wasn't there for Shredhead for a couple at the end. Everybody stuck around. And the other cool thing, that at least for the United States, was this is also the end of the Saturday morning era for us. Us out here, I don't know if you guys had this in Austria and Germany, but, Saturday morning cartoons, you'd wake up at our age, and you'd be excited to wake up on a Saturday morning. You'd have your sugary cereal. People say you're not supposed to eat nowadays, but you would just sit there and be glued to your TV set for a couple hours. And I believe this was the last Turtle show that aired on Saturdays, so it was also the end of that. So for me, I was born in '84. I was able to do this for 25 years, and it was a great magical time in my life. Nowadays, again, we had to have these, like you said too. You had most of these on VHS tapes, right?
Yeah, the classic cartoon. I had a lot of them on VHS, and yeah, as I said, unfortunately, of the 2003 cartoon, we never got any releases on DVD or anything, which is unfortunate. But still, I was recording them on VHSs by myself, so I can watch them
Yeah.
over and over again. Yeah, you cannot imagine this nowadays.
Yeah.
Tell my kids, hey, if you weren't there when it aired, you missed it. And you had to check out if there was some, if they replayed it later or anything. But if you missed it, you missed it. And they cannot imagine, like, hey, when I watch something, I turn on Netflix and watch it. That's it. So no, that's not the way it worked back then. So I had to record it if I wanted to watch it again. I had no other choice. So yeah.
And the same thing with spoilers. Nowadays, Facebook was starting to come around back then. I think MySpace was still popping in the early, mid 2000s. But, nowadays when you log on, if you don't watch it, spoilers are going to pop into your feed right away. Actor signs this shocking finale to the Turtles Season 7, Turtles Forever, backlash from fans, just all this crazy nonsense that we didn't really have to deal with either. So it's a great time to be alive. Like me and Chris would say, guys, check it out. And we do have some other extra cool stuff for you guys. So if you guys want more of this 2003 series, we can point you in the right direction to another awesome podcast with our good friend here, Christian. If they want to get more, deep into these shows as you break them down in your episodes, where can they find some more here?
Yeah, as I always say, if you want to check out my podcast, which is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Talk, you can find me on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, pretty much everywhere. As I always say, I am a mostly German podcast, but I also every second week I do a English episode for the international fans, and so there's something there for you. Check it out. Go to the website tmnttalk.com. You can find everything there, all the social media stuff. Check it out. Come on over. Maybe it's for you. Check it out.
Yeah, exactly. And there's tons of episodes right here where instead of just breaking it down like we do in a few minutes, he'll spend a good 20-30 minutes per episode, guys. And that's going to do it here, guys. Christian, we hope to have you back real soon. Maybe we'll take a break from the cartoons and try to get into these comics for once. That's something that I'd love to break down with you. I finally finished the entire black and white first few books, so hopefully we'll have you again pop on real soon. As always, my friend, thank you again for your time.
Oh, thanks for having me as always. It's a blast. Thank you, and until next time.